Stoicism and Mysticism. At first glance, you'd think they are polar opposites. One is all about that ironclad logic, and the other, it's about ecstatic release. But what if that's just the surface story? Okay, let's dive right in and explore the really profound common ground between, well, the fortress of the mind and the ocean of consciousness. We all have these stereotypes in our head, right? On one side, you've got the Stoic, the unshakable Roman general, enduring whatever life throws at him with a stiff upper lip. And then on the other side, there's the mystic, completely lost in a state of bliss, just dissolved in some divine light. One seems so grounded in reality, while the other seems to have left it behind entirely. But here's the question that really drives this whole explainer. What if these aren't opposites at all? What if they're just two different languages trying to describe the exact same thing, a unified, meaningful life? To figure that out, let's start by walking the path of reason. We'll kick things off with Stoicism, which is all about building this incredible, unbreachable fortress inside yourself. Okay, so let's clear up a huge misconception right out of the gate. Stoicism is not about not having emotions, not at all. It's about using your reason, your logic, so that you're the one in control, not your fleeting feelings. The goal isn't to become some kind of robot. It's to use logic as a tool to build a deep, unshakable inner peace. All right, now let's switch gears and head down the other path, the path of experience, mysticism. This one isn't about logic. It's about diving head first into the vast ocean of consciousness. And again, let's be really clear here. Mysticism isn't one specific religion. It's more of a mode of being, a focus on the direct, personal experience of something bigger, a reality that our five senses just can't quite grasp. It's about feeling truth, not just thinking your way to it. So we have the thinker and we have the feeler. This is where it gets absolutely fascinating. Let's start looking at where these two paths, which seem so different, actually meet, where reason literally touches the infinite. Our very first point of connection is this incredibly powerful idea of an indwelling spark, this belief that something divine, something special, lives inside every single one of us. And just look at the language they used. It's amazing. The Stoics called it the pneuma, a tiny spark of the universal reason, the logos, that's inside our soul. The mystics, they called it the inner light or the Atman. I mean, they're different words, sure, but it is the exact same idea. There is a piece of the divine living within you. So what does this all mean? It means that both of these paths, one through pure logic and the other through direct experience, point to the very same conclusion. The ultimate answers, they're not out there somewhere in the world. They're already inside you. All right, the second major intersection is a concept we could call radical acceptance. And this is a complete, total embrace of reality, exactly as it is, without fighting it. The Stoics have that famous term for this, amor fati, which means love of one's fate. It's not about just putting up with what happens. It's about actively loving it, seeing every single moment as necessary. The mystics calls this surrender, a deep yielding to the perfect interconnected flow of it all. See? One is a disciplined logical choice, the other is a spiritual release. But they both land you in the exact same place, a profound peace with what is. And that leads us perfectly to our third connection, the idea that self-mastery isn't just a good idea. It's the essential gateway to reaching these higher states of being. This illustrates their shared strategy brilliantly. You have the great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius, who wrote constantly about building an inner citadel, a fortress in your mind that external chaos can't possibly breach. And for the mystic, this is all about cleansing the doors of perception, detaching from all those worldly desires and cravings so you can finally see reality for what it is. Both require intense inner work and some serious discipline. Now, of course, they aren't exactly the same. The flavor is definitely different. I mean, you can see here, the Stoics' number one tool is reason. The mystics, they rely on intuition and love. For a Stoic, logic is the highest faculty you have. For a mystic, it's more like a ladder you climb, and then you kick it away. Even the end state is different. Stoics are aiming for a calm tranquility they call ataraxia, while mystics are often seeking ecstasy. But then, just when you think you have them figured out, you get a quote like this one, from the most famous Stoic of them all, Marcus Aurelius. He says he's contemplating the stars to wash away the dross of earthly life. Now, does that sound like a dry, cold logician to you? No way. That sounds exactly like a mystic. It's like he's hinting that if you take reason to its absolute limit, you touch something beyond reason. And this brings us to the synthesis of it all. If these are two different paths, what happens when we start to see them as just two different trails leading up the very same mountain? Here's a really powerful way to look at it. Stoicism is the discipline that builds the container. It forges a soul that's strong enough, calm enough, and clear enough to handle the profound, sometimes overwhelming experience of mystical insight without completely shattering. You could say that reason prepares the ground for grace to land. So how can we actually use this today? Well, it's like a two-step dance. First, you walk the Stoic path. Use your reason. Logically look at your anxious thoughts, your knee-jerk reactions. Build that inner citadel, piece by piece. And then you walk the mystic path. You practice surrender. You let go, you accept this very moment just as it is, and feel your connection to everything around you. Because in the end, both of these ancient philosophies arrive at this one unified truth. The goal isn't to bend a chaotic world to our will. The real work, the true path to peace, is all about the transformation of the self. So the question I want to leave you with is this. As you go about your day today, which path will you choose to walk? The structured, solid path of reason? Or the open, flowing path of surrender? Or maybe you'll realize that to climb the mountain, you actually need both.